Okay, so where we at? Well, we are in Volusia County, Florida, because that's where this degenerate's at. Also, you know the drill. The dogs are in and out, the doors and the windows are open. They might bark, I might cough, I might misread. You might hear the laundry going. If you have a problem with that, feel free to go somewhere else. Also, I'd like to note that 90% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your phone in your hand, you got your computer right there. All you gotta do is click the button and we're done. This is where we're at. Volusia Sheriff melts badge of ex-deputy charged with solicitation to commit prostitution. Now I know this is from June 2024. Again, give me a damn minute. I have an update. Ex-Volusia Sheriff's Deputy Stephen Corbin was in plain clothes but driving a marked patrol car when he was accused of threatening two women with arrest if they did not engage in acts. Now, you know how YouTube is, so I'm not going to say them. I'll point them out, but I'm not saying them. So, let's go to reader mode, then we'll come back and watch the video. Updated. The Volusia Sheriff's... okay, we read that. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood said after Corbin's arrest that the ex-deputy had disgraced the sheriff's office and his badge would be melted down. The sheriff's office posted a video of the badge being melted down last week. Corbin's defense attorney, Michael Lambert, took a rhetorical torch to Chitwood, calling the stunt childish. Corbin was in plain clothes but driving a marked patrol car at the time, according to Daytona Beach police. He resigned after police began investigating the case. Corbin, 40, was charged with 2 counts each of bribery by a public servant, battery, false imprisonment, and solicitation to commit prostitution, according to Daytona Beach police. Corbin was arrested May 15th and released from the Volusia County Branch Jail the next day after posting $90,000 bond. His arraignment is set for July 2nd before Circuit Judge Elizabeth Blackburn. Corbin's defense attorney, Michael Lambert, entered a written plea of not guilty on behalf of Corbin on May 17th when, among other motions, he also entered a motion to dismiss the charges. Corbin has waived his presence at pretrial hearings. State's attorney office has not made a filing decision yet on the charges according to court records. The investigation began when a woman contacted Daytona Beach police last month. The woman, whose age was not provided, said she was approaching the South Ridgeway corridor by a man in plainclothes but driving a Volusia Sheriff's Office patrol car. The woman told police that the man, later identified as Corbin, held her against her will and verbally threatened to arrest her if she did not engage in a act, police stated. Corbin released the woman after she agreed to show him her breast, according to a charging affidavit. Police identified Corbin as a suspect. Second woman said she got into the deputy's vehicle. The driver, later identified as Corbin, asked her if she wanted to make some money, but told him she did not do that, the affidavit stated. Corbin told her she could make some money and he could give her a place to stay and shower, but she said no. Corbin then grabbed her hand and tried to force it to his genitals, but she pulled away, the affidavit stated. She said she asked Corbin to let her out of the vehicle, but he refused, and she tried the door and it was locked. She said she gave Corbin directions to the Sunset Inn so it would be on video when he dropped her off. Once he dropped her off, she walked back to Seagrave Street and saw Corbin in the Ford Taurus patrol car drive back. Corbin tried to get her to go back inside, but she heard people yelling at her not to get in the car. She said Corbin opened the passenger door, but she slammed it shut and he sped off. Stephen Corbin's attorney, childish, immature stunt. Lambert blasted Chitwood on the badge burning. Childish, immature stunt. He who exalted himself shall be humbled. There is not one of us who is flawless despite his posturing otherwise. Just like the tragedy at Sugar Mill Elementary, he wants to stick his face and voice everywhere. As a satirical aside, we all get to say how unfortunate we are to have lived in the time of Chitwood, the only person in history to date that can cast the first stone. When we get all the paperwork and able to do the discovery, we will have a better idea of where, if anywhere, Mr. Corbin's case is headed. The carnival baker has consumed too much of his snake oil. Anyway, That was about a mouthful. Anyway, let's watch the... This is just... I don't know. I have it queued up, but you know how that goes. At this point, I don't even know where it went. It's right here. And it's not very loud. I have all my stuff set. It's just not very loud. And of course, there'd be an ad. Because I queued up past it. I'm going to stop doing that.
Good afternoon, Mr. Corbin. I'm Judge LaDon. We're here for your first appearance hearing this afternoon. This is a very limited hearing. It's for me to advise you of the charges against you, to determine if there's probable cause for the charges. Typically, I will appoint the public defender, but you have hired your own attorney, so Mr. Lambert is here to represent you. I'm going to go through the charges first. Based on everything in the probable cause affidavit, there is ample probable cause for all the charges. Again, as for count 1, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $25,000. Count 2, bond is set in the amount of $25,000. Count 3, bond is set in the amount of $15,000. Count 4, bond is set in the amount of $15,000. Count 5, $2,500. Count 6, $2,500. And count 7 and 8, $2,500 each.
Briberies and false imprisonments of $25,000 and $15,000. Based on the January bond schedule, it appears they should be about $5,000. I would just ask if the court would consider reducing it to $5,000.
Based on all the factors in the probable cause affidavit, the bonds are going to remain as that. Total bond is $90,000.
Thank you, Judge.
It's tax. Stop. Now, as far as all the badge burning goes and all the... This doesn't seem... maybe this is it. The Volusia Sheriff's Office melted down the badge of former Deputy Stephen Corbin, who was arrested after he was accused of threatening 2 women with arrest if they did not engage in acts with him, according to a report. Yada, yada, yada. Screen grab from Volusia Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Okay, that's what that is. So, out of all that, there was some accountability, right? Well, that's a lot of shit going down, so let's see. Ex-Volusia deputy sentenced for threatening woman with arrest unless she performed... Now, this is from February 21st, 2025. We're about to see some accountability, right? Hold your horses. An ex-Volusia sheriff's deputy who reportedly threatened to arrest a woman if she did not perform on him was sentenced Thursday to 6 months in jail. That'll learn him. Stephen Corbin, 41, entered a no-contest plea to unlawful compensation or reward for official act and was sentenced to 180 days in the Volusia County Branch Jail and 10 years probation, according to the state attorney's office and jail records. The charge is a second-degree felony. Wow, a second-degree felony. There's some accountability here, right? 10 years probation. They'll say he did it. It'll be one thing after another. Go and make sure, I want everybody to go do a records request and make sure he's doing every damn day of probation. I'm telling you, he is not. And wait, it gets better. Corbin must also surrender his law enforcement certificate. Ooh, big deal. As part of the plea with prosecutors, Circuit Judge Elizabeth Blackburn withheld adjudication, meaning Corbin will not have a conviction on his record if he successfully completes probation. Prosecutors dismissed a count of solicitation to commit prostitution, a second-degree misdemeanor, as part of the plea agreement. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood wrote after Corbin's arrest that Corbin had been a deputy for 11 years. Wonder how long he's been doing it. Corbin resigned as the process to fire him started, Chitwood said. At the time, Corbin was assigned to a courthouse in Daytona Beach, according to an affidavit. They resign, and then they say, well, we have no jurisdiction over him, so we can't do this, we can't do that. But you know what he can do? He can collect that pension. Volusia deputy orders woman into patrol car. The investigation began after a woman told Daytona Beach police that she was approached on May 13th on South Ridgeway Avenue by a man in plain clothes driving a marked Volusia Sheriff's Office patrol car. This is just recapping. The woman told police that the man, later identified as Corbin, ordered her into the patrol car at Cedar and Seagrave Streets. She said he threatened to arrest her if she did not perform on him. Police stated she refused and said Corbin grabbed her left arm and pulled her toward his lap, but she pulled away. Corbin released the woman after she agreed to show him her breast, according to a charging affidavit. Once she pulled up her shirt, Corbin let her out on South Street. The woman, who was homeless, but of course, because one of the most vulnerable of the vulnerable in this country, and here's law enforcement just taking all kinds of advantage of it, said she was not a prostitute, but has spoken to some women who were. They told her a man in a sheriff's cruiser was picking them up and paying for, the affidavit stated. Corbin then picked up a second woman. That woman said Corbin asked her if she wanted to make some money, but she told him she did not do that. The affidavit stated. Corbin responded by laughing and saying, "Yeah, right." The affidavit stated the woman said again she did not trick. Corbin told her she was homeless and asked her if she wanted to make some money if he gave her a place to stay and shower, and she declined. She so wants no part of that disgusting little prick that she'll go somewhere else and shower. And anyway, Corbin then grabbed her hand and tried to force it to his genitals, but she pulled away, the affidavit stated. She said she asked Corbin to let her out of the sheriff's vehicle, but he refused, and she tried the door, and it was locked. I'm just saying, kidnapping. She said she gave Corbin directions to the Sunset Inn, so it would be on video when he dropped her off. Once he dropped her off, she walked back to Seagrave Street and saw Corbin in the Ford Taurus patrol car drive back. Corbin tried to get her to go back inside. She heard people yelling at her not to get in the car. Even they know, stay away from him. She said Corbin opened the passenger door, but she slammed it shut, and he sped off. The woman said she was upset at what happened and that she was not a prostitute. Corbin's patrol car was towed to the police department and searched. Officers found a sealed box of Trojan condoms in the driver's side door and 2 sealed condoms in the center of the vehicle, in the console, I'm guessing. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood said after Corbin's arrest that the ex-deputy had disgraced the sheriff's office and later posted a video of melting down Corbin's badge. Corbin's defense attorney, Michael Lambert, called the badge burning a childish stunt. So let's see if there's a badge burning. Or let's just see if it'll take all day. Can we? This looks like no badge burning to me. It said melting down. I assumed it would take me to some badge burning. Doesn't seem like it'd be that far down, does it? Seemed like when I went to badge burning, it'd be right there. Daytona Beach, yada yada yada. Anyway, maybe this is it. After, bunch of ads. Some grandpa's graduating. Anyway, I'm not sure where the badge burning's at, but if somebody can find it, feel free to, pin a link to it. But as far as we know, he got 6 months, probably a bunch of time suspended, 10 years probation, allegedly, and he completes what the judge says, there'll be nothing on his record. There will be 0 on his record for that. Here is the badge burning. That's supposed to mean something. I'm not doing all that. But yeah. So, that's where we're at with this degenerate. He's going to get nothing. He's going to get nothing. So what do you think about that? I'm thinking that I'm going to put some videos up along with what they got and what law enforcement gets and see how that adds up. Anyway, this is, again, where we're at in 2025 when law enforcement melting down some badges and no accountability for anything. So, childish stunt. They're saying that was a childish stunt. I think it was kind of, I mean, July 2nd. This was from June 24, 2024. But yeah, that's where we're at. Law enforcement 2025. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 90% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Feel free to click that button, and I'm out.